Bar from Servant's Hands Massage Therapy, and I should have done this video towards the beginning of quarantine or the stay-at-home orders because I'm addressing how to set up your at-home workstation. I'm actually about to get ready to go back to work, but hopefully some of you that have been able to work from home will continue to do more working from home. I think that's one of the good things that's going to come from this whole COVID experience. As far as setting up the workstation, the best thing is to make sure everything is as ergonomic as possible. So you want your muscles to be as close to in a neutral position as possible. So neutral position, if you picture the skeleton hanging in the science classroom, you want your ears over the shoulders, shoulders over the hips. When you're standing, hips over the center of your feet. That's when everything's kind of stacked up. When everything's stacked up, nothing's getting overly scrunched or overly stressed. So trying to turn that into a workstation, you know, we think of laptops, we think of this bit. Well, there's nothing happy about this. We start slumping into our work, we hunch it in, and there's no way for our eyes to be straight ahead, elbows at 90 degrees when working on a laptop, unless you have a separate keyboard, which if you have a separate keyboard, that's awesome. Having it set up so you can do that is really ideal. Otherwise, you know, get in as good of a position as you can be, and then change it every once in a while. Because you know, when I'm in this position, this is it's great for my eyes. I notice my arms are a little bit bent than normal, which stretching your biceps out can help with that. Good bicep stretch is just grabbing the chair behind you, making sure your shoulder isn't scrunched up. But if you imagine rolling your arms away from you, it's a good way to stretch the bicep if you're holding onto the chair itself. But as far as just trying to deal with what you can and move it around. So with this one, I would ideally like to be a little bit taller, but with the way that I have this little guy, I don't know, it's just kind of a tabletop kind of desktop adjuster thing. It's actually called Executive Office Solutions, or it's from Executive Office Solutions. So this, I think they run about $40 to $60, and every joint is adjustable, so you can kind of make it so you can stand up or sit down. For me, ideally I should be a little bit taller. I do have this little guy, which is kind of one of those, I think, like purple waffle kind of things. And this kind of puts me at a good height. And it also kind of gives you a little bit of cushion. Spoil yourself. When you're working from home, do what you got to do. Buy the $20, $30, $40 thing here and there to make it more comfortable for yourself. And then as far as those of us that have yoga balls, this one probably needs to be blown up a little bit more. It was in our garage. But sitting at a yoga ball, make sure you're not really going to slump. It's hard to hunch when you're on a yoga ball. Making sure that you're not crawling into your work, especially by the end of the day. A good way to kind of prevent that, I'm going to ditch this ball because it needs to be blown up a little bit more, but a good way to prevent that is getting the habit of crossing at your ankles. You know, having your legs more extended like that kind of prevents everything getting real tight up in your hips. And this can adjust so I can stand up, just to kind of break up the monotony of it being in the same position. When it comes to being able to move around and do so, this is can be time consuming to adjust it just right. Being in a place where you can even just use a counter for that. The biggest thing when you're standing up like this, you know, ideally it'd be more like this. So I can bring that over. You got some books, stacking books on top of each other. Having it at a bit of angle helps, but make sure that you're not tucking your chin when you're looking at stuff. You can actually look pretty well with your head ahead, your face ahead, but then kind of looking down at the bottom of your peripheral vision. But also make sure when you're standing up that you're not kind of letting your pelvis kind of slouch. You kind of keep everything engaged. And that you're not standing on one foot, one side or the other. That's another way of getting your hips real cranky. Just kind of stacking everything up, keeping everything aligned. and listening to your body. Get up and stretch every once in a while. I got some other videos that are on stretching. Enjoy your time at home, and like I said, hopefully you'll be able to have more of it. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave it in the comments. I'll try to get back to you. And enjoy the rest of this time you have.